Yeah. Well, good morning. You know what? I have these lights full on. I'm going to turn them down a bit. Mike and I doing our little bit of pickleball lately. So we like the lights up for that. But they're too bright for yoga. All right. Yeah. Nice seat. I just settle in and close your eyes. Focusing in on your breath. Perhaps endeavor to deepen your breath a little bit. Always good to find a few things that you can be grateful for, especially with your physical body and what it allows you to do. So this morning, just bring your hands and cover your eyes and be grateful for what your eyes do for you, what they allow you to see and experience. The gift of sight is really valuable. And just bring your hands to your ears and appreciate what your ears bring to you. You can hear baby cry, laughter, lots of beautiful things come to you through your ears. And then just move your hands to your throat. Appreciate what your throat does for you, allows you to communicate, maybe sing, laugh, and truly be grateful for the gifts that your throat brings. And then finally, just move your hands down to your heart. Be grateful for what that represents in your life. What it does for your body. And then just bring your palms together in front of your heart. May we always remember an attitude of gratitude changes outlook for a lot of things. Makes us better able to look for and appreciate all those things around us. See the grace and the beauty that's always there. Please lower your hands and your eyes. Just stretch your right arm up. wave it around. You can wave your wrist around. Hello. And then switch. I got some arm issues going on here, and I've been having a few wrist issues playing with the pickleball. Makes me laugh because everything I do, it seems like something's hurting. Good. Come on down and stretch both arms up. Feel your spine, appreciate your spine. And then go ahead and twist to your right. Take a few breaths there. And then stretching your arms back up. Lengthen up and then twist to your left. And coming back, stretching the arms up. Interlace your hands and stretch your palms up. And then turning the knuckles forward, tuck your chin around your upper back, stretch your knuckles forward. Good. And then go ahead and release and come on down to your back. And just hug both knees in. Keeping the knees together, just kind of move the knees to the right, trying to keep your back grounded. And then move them to the left. And just keep going like that. And then move the knees away from you till you feel you have a neutral back. Hold your right knee, extend your left leg. And then just kind of move it around, maybe to the side a little bit. Warming up the hip. And then switch. These lights are still kind of bright, sorry. And switch again. And one more time, switch. Good. And then switch again, but this time interlace your hands behind your thigh and press your thigh into your hands till your arms are full length. Straighten your leg and then flex and point. Or make a circle or whatever to warm up your ankle. Good. Now keeping the hip creases parallel to each other, just bring your leg a little closer. Stretch out your hamstrings a little bit more. You can move your hands up if that helps. And then go ahead and switch again. Interlace behind the left leg. Stretch it up. Flex and point. And challenge the hamstrings a little bit. You can keep a slightly bent knee if that helps. I like to think of pressing the leg into the socket as I do this. Good. And then release, hug both knees in. And roll up to seated. And just go ahead and extend your legs in front of you. And then draw the legs into the socket so you're on your sits bones. If you feel like, I need that blanket under my tail, you can press your heels down, lengthen up. Maybe you just stay here. Or if you feel like challenging yourself a little more, you can slowly fold forward. Try not to round your back too much, especially the low back. Pressing the heels down. And fold. Paschimottanasana. And then coming on up, bring your legs wider. Might have to inner spiral again. Get the sits bones under you. Feel the heels pressing down, and then maybe fold forward here if it feels like a good stretch for you. Just go slow and breathe. Just notice if there's any inequities between the sides, inequalities, I guess. I'm gonna work on stretching out the legs, but this, of course, gets into the hips a little bit too. Come on up and make your way to all fours position. And just being really mindful with your hands right under your shoulders. Curl your toes. Think really strong core. So draw the low belly up. Think neutral spine though. Head's in line with your spine, and then lift your knees and hold. Feel your core supporting you, front, back, sides. Press through your fingertips a little more. How's that feel on your arm? Okay. Yeah. If you can go for 3 more breaths. And lower down, really good. Stretch your feet long, sit back to child's pose. Stretch your arms out long so that your elbows can come down. Bring your palms together. And then just pressing your elbows down, stretch your hands up in prayer position. Stretch out your triceps. And then come on back up. All fours. Make fists with your thumbs pointing forward. Curl your toes under again. Engage your core. Lift your knees. Broaden your clavicles. Really feel connected. You're going to get a little quad workout as well as the core. If you have that neutral spine, lengthen through the top of your head, you know you can come down if you need to at any point. Keep a long back of neck. And lower the knees. And just with on your fists, do some cow and cat. Moving through the two. Kind of move with your breath. And then straighten out your hands. They feel like they've had a workout now. And swivel your right foot to the right. Extend your left foot and come up to a little side plank variation. And then this one, I just want you to feel super long and engaged through your spine, through the top of your head. And come on down. And switch. So left foot, right foot long. Really lengthen. Good. And then come on down. Coming back to the first side. So the right foot, stand long. And then this time, maybe stretch the left arm by your ear and lift the back leg. You can get your spine a little longer, draw the rib cage back. Good. And release. And switch. Make sure your left hand's slightly in front of your left shoulder. It feels better. Extend the arm first, up. And then if it feels good and you want to stretch it by your ear, lift the back leg, you can. Shoulder blades on the back. Rib cage back. Heart forward, but broaden the clavicles. Good. And come on out. You cow cats again. And then stretching your feet long again. Just sit back on your heels. Get a little quad stretch going. And if you're able to do this and it feels comfortable, stretch your arms up and twist to your left. Got all kinds of chiropractic adjustments going on in there. Come back to center and twist the opposite way. And unwind. Find your blocks and just set them at the front of your mat. Just wide enough that your hip or shoulder distance. And then come up to a downward facing dog there. And then step your feet forward, but step the feet to the outside of the blocks. The toes might be turned out a little bit. And come down to a deep squat here. See how that is? I know your blocks are there if you need them. You don't have to use them. And then come up to a wide-legged forward fold. And bringing your hands on the blocks, step your right foot back to a deep lunge. So your left leg's kind of out to the side. You want to be careful that your kneecap and toes point the same direction. Your right heel and right sits bones are aligned. And then lower the back knee. Just see how that feels. Yeah. Keep a long spine. If you want more stretch, if you have enough stretch here, just stay here. If you want more stretch, come down to your blocks or to the floor. I'm going to blocks today. Keeping the right hip in line with the right foot. Your left foot is probably off to the side a little bit. You're just stretching that inner thigh and hip in humble pose. And come on up. Lift the back foot or back knee and step forward to that wide forward fold for a minute. And then we'll switch sides. So left foot back, deep lunge. You can pause there and just kind of feel it. Right toes and kneecap point the same direction. Left sits bone, left heel aligned. Lower the back knee. Just take your time. Hug to the midline. And if you feel like, yeah, this feels pretty good, I'm going to lower to the blocks. You can even bring them to the lower side or to the floor. That works good for you, keeping everything aligned. Your spine's straight forward. At times, if you hold a pose a little bit longer, you'll feel some things lengthen out, loosen up a bit. Keep that muscle energy. And then come on back up. Just set the blocks off to the right beside your mat. Lift your back knee, hands down, come back to downward dog. And just walk your dog out. Bend one knee and straighten the other, stretch the heel. And then pause for a few breaths, just noticing you're using all parts of your hand. And come forward to plank. And you can lower the knees to lower down or lower down through a push-up. Stretch your feet long. Readjust your hands if they don't feel right. I like to put forehead down so I can think long back of neck. As I lift my head, draw the rib cage back, lift my shoulders. Don't scoop your tailbone, maybe lift to cobra. And on your next exhale, lower down and just do that 2 more times. So on your inhale, lift, lengthen, And exhale, lower. Last time. Okay, push back to all fours. Bring your hands on the blocks again. And come on up to downward facing dog. Extend your right leg. Just pause there, just kind of noticing. Stay square in this variation. You can point the toe if you want. And then step that foot through to a deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Hug to the midline. Stretch up Anjaneyasana. Right hip crease stays back. Full breath. And then please touch down. You can use the blocks if you want to for runner's lunge. I'm not going to use them because I'm pretty open. But lift your toes and draw your hips back. Sits bones and heels still aligned. Draw the right leg into the socket. Runner's lunge. Stretch the toes a little bit if that feels good. Good. And then bend back into the front knee. Lift the back knee. Okay, now this is going to feel weird. You're just going to turn to the little toe side of your left foot so your toes point towards the right. You're going to feel this in your right butt as you twist. I call this big old butt stretch. If you if you want more stretch, you can straighten the front leg. Not that you guys have big butts, I know I do, but it's okay. It's in vogue right now. Good, and touch down, straighten the back foot out. Step back, downward facing dog. Well, that was mind-blowing, right? Extend the left leg. And then step that left foot through to deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Hug to the midline. Anjaneyasana. I'm gonna wrap it out this morning. On your next exhale, touch down. Slide your hips back for that runner's lunge position. Drawing the leg into the socket. Try not to let the hips sway to the right. Just keep it level. Foot flex to start and then stretch. And then on your next inhale, bending into the front knee, hands to the blocks helps. Lift the back knee. Jump to the little toe side of the right foot. Try and get on the bottom of the foot. Left hand to the hip. Ooh, that's rotting that hip, isn't it? Straighten the leg if you want more. Big old butt stretch. Your toes point to the left. Good, bend into the front knee, turn the back heel up. This time, step forward. Regular forward fold. And just pause there, feeling it out. Plain if you want. And inhale, come all the way up to standing. Bring your knuckles forward. Rest the palms and stretch up. Sorry, I'm off the screen. And arc to your right. Deeper breath. And come on up and over. Come on back up. Stretch your knuckles forward again. Tuck your chin, round your upper back. Really get a good shoulder stretch. And then press the palms forward again. Stretch up. And release. Good. We're going to do a few sun salutes. I'm going to come back here. So inhale, stretch your arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sit into chair pose. You can bring your hands on your knees so that you can really adjust. So you feel the weight back. Feel your core. So you're drawing your low belly up, but sticking your sits bones back and widening them, and then lengthening your spine. You can sit a little deeper if you want. Maybe bring hands to heart center and breathe. Good. Sit a little deeper. Two more breaths. Good, hands to the knees, straighten the legs and fold forward. Inhale, pranam. And exhale, fold. Step your right foot back to deep lunge. Come on up to a crescent warrior. Good, touch down. Step back to downward dog. And then I'm going to have you do this. Yeah, let's do it from standing. Step your left foot forward a little bit and turn it out and turn to the little toe side of your right foot. So your left foot's about halfway up at the most. So you can still press into it and then bring your left hand to your hip. Think of that engaged core. This is a visvamistrasana variation. Extend your arm if you want. Good, really good, you guys. Touch your left hand down, step back, downward facing dog. Extend your right leg. Just pause there. And then step it through, deep lunge. Come up, crescent warrior. You can take your time, just making sure your foot placement is correct. Right hip crease stays back. Breathing. Back leg, hold you steady. Good. Touch down. Step back. Downward facing dog. You want to make sure you're in a full down dog. So when you do that visvamistrasana, your hands slightly in front of your shoulders. So step your right foot up, turn the toes out. Little toe side of the left foot. Right hand to the hip. Think long spine. Stretch the arm. Widen the clavicles. Good, and touch down. Step back. Down dog. Lower your knees. Take a child's pose. You can stack your hands on your forehead if that feels good. And then come on back up to a downward facing dog variation. Bend your right leg. Step it through to a deep lunge. Sorry. Lower the back knee. And just wiggle your right foot forward till it's off the mat. If you can. If you need to step your back knee forward, you can. And then stretch your hips back, straighten your right leg. So your heel's still on the floor. I think I'm going to draw the leg into the socket, really use my core to stay long and strong, and then maybe push it a little further to see. You can have the hands on the blocks. Just keep a little baby bend in your knee. Woohoo! Good job, you guys. You want to go further, you can. Just make sure your hips stay square and you're staying really engaged in the core. You can stretch the toes. So the hard part is coming back out of this. Slide that foot back. And bring the block to the inside and walk your right foot to the outside a little bit for humble pose. Again. Just getting all parts of that hamstring opened up. And then come on back up, lift the back knee, step back, down dog. Hands are shoulder, hip apart, or shoulder width, shoulder hip. Oh goodness. Extend your left leg and step it through. Deep lunge. Lower the back knee, walk the foot forward. If that feels good. You don't have to do it this deep. Slide the hips back. Make sure sits bones and heels are aligned. Engage your core, draw your low belly up, lengthen your spine. And then if you want to go deeper, you just slide. Just do that a few times. So think every inhale, I'm really engaging the core, hugging to the midline. And then maybe I can go a little deeper. Whew, Hanumanasana. One more breath. And slide it back in if you can. Bring the left block to the inside. Wiggle that foot out. Maybe even widen the knee a little bit. Humble pose. Good. Come on up. Put the blocks off to the front. Lift the back knee with your hands down. Step back. Downward facing dog. Just for fun, let's do a vinyasa. So plank, lower, cobra, and lower. Downward facing dog. Make sure your feet are at least hip distance apart. We're gonna do regular visvamistrasana. So swivel both heels to the right. So your right foot has the foot grounded. You're on the inside of your left foot, and then open up. Maybe extend the arms if you're feeling strong, really good. Lengthen your spine. Stretch your arm by your ear if you want. Yeah, good job. And come on out. Take a moment in downward facing dog. You guys are doing great. I hope you are at home too. Feeling it, feeling strong. Vasisthasana means side plank. So when you're in it, think of lengthening and being really strong through the core. Swivel the heels to the left. Right hand on the hip. Left shoulder slightly in front of, or left hand slightly in front of the shoulder. Come on up, see how it feels. Shoulder blades on the back, rib cage on the back. Stretch the arm if that feels good. And come on down. Go ahead and lower your knees. And take child's pose. Get off your hands for a moment. And then come on up to all fours with your hands slightly in front of your shoulders. And step your right foot up. So your left knee's back a little ways. Good. And then bring your right hand to the inside. Wiggle your foot just a little bit to the right, just so you have enough room there. And then slide your hips back a little bit so they're above your knee. And swivel your left foot to the left. And come up so your right shoulder's kind of underneath your left leg. And then straighten your right leg. Lift the toes. Maybe reach your left hand to the right foot. Yeah, good. Little toe side if you can. And look under your left arm. Woo, good job. And then unwind. You're going, what in the heck was that? Straighten out and step back. Down dog. And then come down to your knees again and bring your left foot up there. Left hand to the inside. I wiggle my foot a little bit just so I have room for my shoulder, and then I dip my shoulder down and bring my hand to the outside. Swivel the right foot and straighten the left leg. See if you can reach for the foot. Maybe even the heel can lift up. You look under your right arm. It's a weird concept, I know. This is just kind of prep for another pose. And unwind. Lift the back knee, step back. Downward facing dog. And lower your back knee. Or no, lower your knees. And come on up to seated for a moment. So the full pose of what we were going for there, I'll show you, and then you can determine whether you want to try it or not. So from down dog, I step one foot forward. I bring the hand to the inside, dip my shoulder, ground that back foot down. And then I lift the heel, baby, lift the foot. Visvamistrasana. I know Susan's trying it. I know she is. But you really have to feel grounded through this foot. You have to feel really long through your spine and strong to get that foot up. So if you want to try it, I'll talk you through. Okay, downward facing dog. Let's step the left foot forward this time. And you can step it to the outside. Ground the right foot down. Dip your left shoulder underneath so your right or left hand can come to the outside. And then ask yourself, can I lift the heel? Reach that arm, maybe lift the toes. Did you hurt your shoulder? Oh. Okay, we'll do the other side. Don't try it on that side. I have to do it myself so dip the right shoulder, hand on the outside. And my leg is really on my upper arm, not really on my shoulder. Ground the back foot down, lift the heel, see if you can find the foot, extend the leg. Whoa. Good. And come on out. And go ahead. Oh, transition to your back. Whew. Haven't done that one for a while. Hope you guys had fun playing with that at home. Are you okay?
I am.
Okay. So on your backs, just hug your knees first. Just like we did at the beginning, just move your knees side to side a little bit. And then bringing your feet up, your knees are at 90. Bring the knees wider. Reach up so elbows are on the inside. Reach up in front of your shins to find the ankles or the little toe side. And then if you can find it, just press the feet up into your hands. You can roll side to side if you want. Happy babies. Good, and release your feet. Bring your feet wide on the mat. Arms in cactus, and just do a few windshield wipers. And linger where it feels like a good stretch. And then pause. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open. Maybe bring your hands on your belly. Be appreciative of all your internal organs there. You can even rub your belly. And then closing the knees, go ahead and stretch out. Savasana. Unclench your jaw. If you find that your teeth are together, just unclench and relax. Soften your face. Soften your shoulders. Your legs relax. Settle into your breath. I choose to see and build upon the good of every moment. In counting my blessings, I consciously and concretely build a life of gratitude. A life of gratitude is a life built upon openness, optimism, expectation, and attention to the good of every instant as it unfolds. This is not denial of adversity, rather the choice to consciously count and encounter my moment-to-moment good as a spiritual discipline. My trained optimism creates in me a stamina funded in the constant flow of minute but perceptible spiritual nutrients which fuel me, body and soul. I bless my conscious attention to good. Words of Julia Cameron. Tapping in your breath. Notice how nice and cool it feels on the inhalation. Life through force moves in and around. Moves back out. Start to move in small ways when you feel ready to. Taking your time to come back up to seated. Take a moment to be grateful for everything your body did for you. Your body truly is a miracle in how it works, allowing you to experience life. Please bring hands to heart center. Thank you guys so much for practicing. I bow to that beautiful spirit in each of you. Namaste. Thanks, guys. How'd you guys do?